All right, everyone, welcome back to the Tempe DC podcast. It's Coach Gino here, and today we're bringing you an episode with none other than Coach Logan. This is, again, recorded a few weeks back. I've been late on recording the introduction here, but again, a great conversation with Coach Logan, talking about his title fight, talking about the upbringing he's had at 10th Planet Daily City and more. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you guys, again, want to train with me or Coach Logan, come see us at 10th Planet Daily City. And again, spread the word. If you guys haven't seen Coach Logan's fight yet, it's on YouTube as well. Look him up, Logan Diaz, on the Scrap Bags channel and 10th Planet's page as well. So again, we're posting all his clips up everywhere, and you'll be able to see some of the action from his title fight. So I'll let you guys look it up and see the results there. But again, with nothing further to say, let's get ready to go with Coach Logan. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Tempe DC podcast. Coach Gino here. Mark here on the cameras. Today, we got a very special guest, Logan Diaz. Logan, why don't you say hi to everyone?
What's up, yeah?
So, first time Logan has been on the podcast. Most of you who are listeners know Logan. Those of you who are at the gym know Logan, of course. But I wanted to introduce him to the group today and talk a little bit about some upcoming events, also some of the past history. So, Lo, why don't you tell him how you got started here at 10P Daily City?
Yeah, so I started, I think it was 2017 when I started, or it was 2018 actually. So I started around like 2018, and I was looking for a gym. I remember telling my dad I wanted to train. So we started looking around for gyms that were close in the area. And then honestly, I just let my dad kind of handle it. So he looked up 10th Planet gyms, and he found that there's a 10th Planet Daily City that was close. And it was just starting at the time. So we were like, yo, let's go check it out. And then it was the first gym I walked into, and I remember walking up the stairs and being like, yo, something about like just the atmosphere. I was like, yo, this is it. I'm trying to do this. Like, I just want to fight. I was like, I didn't really know what I was doing in life. So I was like, I'm trying to just fight. Might as well. I was like, might as well full send it. So then ever since then, I've just been training nonstop. But yeah, I remember first coming in and just being something about it. Just felt like, all right, I'm supposed to be here. So yeah. I started around like 2018.
How old again? Was it 15, 16?
I think I was 17.
You were like in your last year.
Yeah, I was like 17. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was 17 because I think I started in February of like 2018. So then
that makes you 17 then, right? Let me see your start date. Actually,
sure.
Remember, let me see your start date. I think you were either 16 or 17, but then you came in right, still in high school.
Yeah, I was still in high school at the time. I was still at Peninsula High School. Mm-hmm. And then I remember, right when I started, though, I came to every class. Like, we had day classes.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, I would just skip school, and I would just come to day class with Gino. Mm-hmm. And at the time, the classes were, like, super small. So remember, it would just be me and you. You were just giving me personals, which was, honestly, it was super fun. Like, right when I started, I was just getting personals out the gate, even because, like I said, it was more the classes were just beginning. So yeah, I would skip school and I would come. I think it was like 10 a.m.
10 a.m. used to be the first. That was the first additional class after the evening classes. When I left my job at security, and then I started teaching full time, we added the 10 a.m.s. Yeah, and then we had the wall here.
Yeah, we had the giant wall, and then
we had two mats split by a giant wall.
At first we had the 10 a.m. for a little bit, and then I remember you had a talk with me, this was hella funny, where you were like, "Yo, Loki, I'm just giving you personals." You're like, "We gotta maybe change the class to a different time, or like we'll figure it out." But yeah, I remember like that started me like. I feel like that gave me a good base, and like I was like, yo, I got like, it was super smaller of a gym, so I feel like I was able to get in and ask questions and pick apart people's brain and like super get involved. And then yeah, like we said, the wall was still there, which was crazy. And like I remember Fire in the Ring was here, right?
Yeah, so we had at that time, you were there. So it looks like you started actually 2019, but your profile. From what it reaches back to is February 2019. So at that was your last year of high school, right? You were about to graduate 2019, or that was your tentative, or 2020.
I was supposed to graduate, I think, that year.
Gotcha.
I think it was supposed to be like that. Yeah.
Okay, so that was again the end of your high school. Basically, after high school, you just were here the whole time. So this was your high school, like your senior year. So I remember you were here all the time. I was like, why isn't this kid in school? But I wasn't gonna be mad because you were the only one showing up for class. So I was like, all right, let me teach him. And then, like I said, like we spoke, and I was like, yeah, I have to get more people in the class. I know I can't just teach you if we're gonna be doing having a program here. We need more students. students. So we moved it, shifted it around, but then you ended up working after a while, like working around our schedule. Everything was just around you showing up to class here.
Yeah.
And that time, I remember by the time you became old enough to start working, I mean, I think once you decided you were gonna like start helping out more seriously here, you started working, you started helping with the classes.
Yeah, I remember
right?
I volunteered though for
A little bit.
it was honestly I think almost a year because at the time I was still in school and I was getting in trouble. So like you said, like I was weird how I was coming to the day class. I would just skip school. So then eventually I had like a district meeting with like the district and basically I told them.
Where you at?
Yeah, I kind of gave them the rundown of like, yo, I basically just told them I had a job. And they were like, oh, well, if you have to make a job, we could give you online school. So then they switched it to online school. And this was before COVID.
Right.
So I kind of got into, like, yeah, I had the online school before COVID, but I still wasn't doing it.
You didn't do that.
I didn't do
That's the thing.
that. But it gave me I wasn't getting in trouble for attendance at
Yeah,
least.
exactly. Attendance was no longer an issue.
Yeah, so
but
then-
just not doing the work was the issue. But you had other stuff you were
I was
doing.
training nonstop, and I was like you said, I was volunteering here.
Yeah.
But I remember I started volunteering. I wanted to work, but the school wouldn't give me a permit because I was underage, and they said like you can't work if you're not even going to school.
Yeah.
So then I remember I volunteered until I was 18,
Yeah.
and then I remember right when I was 18, you can't say nothing about no worker's permit.
Right,
So
now
then
you get to work. So
that
that
was
was the
super
funniest part is like after a while, again, the first thing the first day you say you want to do this as a career, I was like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
like, and I was like, let's see. And then sure enough, you never left, right? So
literally, yeah.
I remember early on, it was like, yeah, you said your dad signed you up here, right? And then your dad
Yeah.
was even telling me before, hey, watch out, this kid, something about him, like, you got to watch out. I was like, what does that mean? You know, I was understanding what he meant over the years. Like, you know, he was worried, like, all right, this guy, he has a high pain threshold. I know if he gets injured, he's just going to keep going. And he's like, you have to
Yeah.
watch him and everything. I was like, okay, cool. And you know, there was a lot of truth to that, but it was just something about you resonating with the martial arts type of mindset, right? Just like it's war. It's like we're going down,
Yeah.
we're throwing down, we're putting my body on the line. We're going to go for it, right? And like full send. So that was the thing that I already saw off the bat. And then when you started working, it was channeling that into being now a guide, a teacher, right? And like
Yeah.
not just learning the techniques, but doing something with them for, you know, to benefit people, right? So then the
sure.
teaching aspect of it, I know you've been teaching a long time. Now you're doing the kids program and everything.
Yeah.
And you've grown as a teacher too. But, you know, talk about like what that journey was like, turning into like no school, no nothing, then turning into an instructor.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, I feel like for me, I wasn't really viewing it as that when I was first sort of doing it. I feel like at first I was more like I'm just a helper. Like I gotta just help out. And then I feel like I didn't really realize when I was taking over so many classes and where I was
happened.
I was just in charge of all the classes. But for me, it kind of just came naturally. And for me, like coaches are like a big role in like growing up in just
Right.
in life because
In athletics, you know,
teachers weren't it for me. So
Right.
like school wasn't it, but sports is what I loved growing up, like soccer,
Yeah.
baseball, doing sports when I was a kid. So like to me, the coach aspect, I completely like respected the coach aspect. And to me, like, yeah, like coaches had a big impact on my life. So I knew like once I started viewing myself as a coach, I started taking it a lot more seriously because I realized like, yo, a coach could really like there's
Change your
stuff
life.
that you literally change your life. Like there's stuff I remember from certain coaches that literally shaped me to be who I am today. So like once I realized that, I feel like I took on the role more of coaching or teaching.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like it. It's super fun. I feel like I could relate to people, and it makes me grow as a martial artist. I feel like it helped my own techniques an insane amount because I feel like it makes me question techniques, like. Because, especially with kids, they'll ask why.
the wildest
They'll be
questions.
like, why are you doing that? And
Yeah.
you got to kind of sit there. And I could just be like, well, just because. You got to just do it.
Right.
But to me, growing up, I hated that answer.
Right.
So I got to sit there and it
A
makes
real
me
answer.
think.
They want a real logical answer.
Yeah, they want to know why. Because everything has a reason. So like everything in life, there's a why. And I feel like I always would be the kid that asks why. So now when a kid asks me like, yo, why do we do that? I feel like it helps me expand to be like, oh, we're doing this because this, and this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think teaching helped me grow as a martial artist and my own techniques a lot. And I honestly like it. I like working with the kids. The kids are super fun. They're funny. They're entertaining.
Yeah, very rewarding, right? You see
Yeah,
the growth.
exactly.
You see them go over the years. They turn into a whole nother person,
Yeah.
right? So this is like you said, coaching in its own aspect. It's turned into like again, almost like a mentor at some times, and at other points it's a friend. Other points it's like an idol, right? Like, and then like sometimes coaches, like, you know, they'll do you dirty. I've had coaches that have done wrong, right? And like you kind of like you think about all those times with all those probably different coaches you had over the years. Some did it great, some did it, you know, not so great. But I think the impression is knowing that a coach has a big impression, right? Is knowing that, okay, I got a big example to fill here, because kids are literally looking up, like, what are you doing and why are you doing it, and like, can you back up your talk, right? And you know, for me, it's always been a thing where when you guys come with questions, I'm gonna always tell you the truth, whether I know it or not. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't know the answer to this question, right? It's so out there. Sometimes these questions just come out of left field. I'm like, I don't know, and we'll have to figure that part out. But that's the good thing about it, like being accountable and saying, I got a real answer for you, and the answer is I don't know, or the answer is, you know, my opinion, or whatever the case is. But you know, you have power there. You got the opportunity to change a life. So you know, let's back up and talk about, you know, the differences now, because you've been training jiu-jitsu since how old again? When you started with your dad, it was I
don't even remember.
probably
When I first started,
before you were 10, right? Like 8 or something.
yeah, I just remember fighting I just loved like wrestling.
It was
would always turn
jiu-jitsu
into
though.
a
Your
fight.
dad really wanted you to learn first, right? It was kind of like,
Yeah, no
his
doubt.
emphasis. Like he started, because I remember you came when you came. Your dad was like, "Yeah, we've been doing jiu-jitsu. We've been doing the Gracie games,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
the jiu-jitsu games." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Oh, interesting, right?" But then I saw you move, and I was like, "Oh shit, he has been training.
Yeah.
He's been moving around. At least, you know, nothing was like super sharp, but you had the motion, you had the mobility.
To
and
me,
you
it
were
was
moving
just like I said, to me,
just
like
wrestling
even
with your dad and brother.
Yeah, with my brother and friends too. Like for me, like even playing sports at the park, eventually it would end up on the floor.
Yeah.
And we're wrestling each other. Like I don't know what it is. I just love to wrestle. Like it was fun.
The
to just
physicality of
grapple.
it, the competitiveness
Yeah,
of
exactly.
it. Right?
And like at family parties, it'd be like me, my brother, and my uncle and my dad. We'd always be getting yelled at because we're fighting, and we'd be like knocking stuff over. But to me, it was so fun. Like that's what. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's what gave me that.
You moved. Well, you were able to get so good at it because you were passionate about it. You really you were interested in it. You always wanted to have the answers to certain moves or techniques. You always wanted to have counters. And then that was the first base, right? We were looking at you like, okay, he wants to, you know, do jiu-jitsu, right? But then the funny part was like you really had an interest in MMA. You were like watching UFC.
Yeah, no doubt.
You knew mixed martial arts as like a passion, and I was like, okay, then if he's really like interested in mixed martial arts, we got to see how his hands are. We got to see how he strikes, you know, and how he moves. And I was like, having that conversation with your pop, I remember I was saying like, you know, he's got to start striking. If he wants to do MMA, he should try striking. And his dad's like, oh man, I know he's gonna like it though. So spot on. That was so 100% right. He's like, he didn't start you that early because he knew you'd be addicted to it, and you know, you probably take more shots than needed. But at the time, again, you were what, 17, 18. I was like, grown now. Your mind's developed a decent amount where you could probably be able to understand how to protect yourself effectively with good defense and still be able to throw down, and while you're still young, while you recover quickly, you know. So that was the funny thing, is like now we shift into the striking aspect, right? So as you began as like kind of just wrestling and having fun, right? I mean, I know you told me stories of you and your dad would be throwing elbows at each other, right? But what was the kind of case when striking started getting into the picture more?
I would say I always liked striking, like just in general, because UFC was always like
both.
That was like the thing. To me, it was like UFC is it. I feel like that's same with my dad, and I feel like also like the UFC craze as it was coming up was like jiu-jitsu is king. If you're the smaller person,
that was always the mindset in the beginning.
Yeah, so I feel like when my dad would watch, he would watch it at the beginning, and that was kind of like pushed on it, which is like is hella true. So like
you gotta have that base.
Yeah, my dad always felt like, because I was also a smaller kid. I'm still obviously pretty small, so like. It was like, yo, if you want to if you want to protect yourself or just be good at fighting in general, you got to learn how to grapple.
Yeah.
So my dad, and it is pretty true. Like he said, he's like, I just don't want someone to be able to hold you down and just get on top of you.
Right.
He kind of called it though. I'm not gonna lie. People still just try to take me down. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
But that's
called it pretty well.
It is pretty funny, you know, how you foresee these things, because I had the same sentiments too. It was like, yeah, I know that there is this a mindset to just get to the grappling, understand how to scramble, understand how to wrestle, and I'm big on that. The jiu-jitsu aspect's huge, right?
For sure.
At the end of the day, though, once we started seeing the trend of everyone starting to learn jiu-jitsu, everyone's starting to learn wrestling, everyone's starting to learn striking. What started happening is like everything started evening out a little bit more. Jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
people started learning the submissions, the submission defenses, the harder
Yeah, the
things.
submission defense. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like that's what another thing is. Like, it's pretty easy to do anti-jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Where it's like you just don't get subbed on top.
Yep,
It's
yep, yep.
easier to not get subbed on top than it is to like.
In MMA, especially, when you get to strike
Exactly.
them, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's a whole nother
exactly.
thing. So it was like, where were we going ideally, right? Are we going to get you to do sub-only jiu-jitsu and get you to be on EBI, do something along those lines? Or are we going to go and try to get you straight to the UFC, right? Are you trying to just kind of make sure you go right to MMA and do all this? Or, even do your Muay Thai thing, which was on the table, right? The Muay Thai was where I tossed that out and saw, okay, let's see how he likes this. I remember I was looking at old footage of you the other day of you early on.
Yeah, I
training,
watched
how-
old footage.
how
It's crazy.
how small you were. I was like, God damn! And then you were sparring and moving around. A whole nother person there. But that was a whole nother impression on you, right? Once you started learning Muay Thai, I remember. So what was the first impression really with Muay Thai though?
Yeah, I would say I tried out a few of the classes, and I remember
So it was here. There's no other Muay Thai.
it was here. Yeah, I
understanding
didn't do
before.
no striking.
But you
I didn't even know what Muay Thai was.
You didn't know Muay Thai was before here.
No clue.
Ah, interesting.
I just knew MMA. I did
And
striking.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I didn't know even I would just do jiu-jitsu. That's
You
why
didn't
I
know
was a
what you were
straight
doing.
casual. Yeah. Like I
You didn't know
just
what you were
did
doing. You were just
yeah,
doing
I
it.
just did the Muay Thai class because that's the one that we were allowed to strike.
Yeah.
So I had no clue what Muay Thai was. Which is also a crazy thing to think about because like my grandma grew up on the street where my grandma lived. I would always go there after school. She lives on the same street as a Buddhist temple.
Oh yeah, the one San Bruno.
Yeah, in
temple.
San Bruno. But like growing up, me and my brother would always walk past it and we'd see the monks and we'd always honestly like we thought it was so funny because it was so different.
Like
Like
the grass.
yeah, like they'd cut the grass with scissors and like the Thai writing on the outside. It was Thai writing. Like now I know it was Thai writing.
Yeah.
But when I was a
You
kid,
had no idea what that was.
dude, me and my brother thought it was like straight up like hieroglyphics. Like we didn't know what it was. We didn't even know it was a language. We straight up thought it was like I don't
Thai
know
Buddhism,
what
some special.
yeah, and then as I obviously started training Muay Thai,
Okay.
it like all clicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my first introduction of Muay Thai was here.
Okay.
So like the goal was MMA striking.
Mm-hmm.
Once I started doing Muay Thai though, and I got more involved in the Muay Thai culture,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly fell in love with Muay Thai. I feel like, yeah, the culture of Muay Thai, the whole culture of
addicting,
just
yeah.
ties. Yeah, it's just like I feel like they're the most humble out of any martial art, and I feel like they could be the most.
Dangerous.
Yeah, kind of the most cocky, even though they're the most humble.
Right.
Which is kind of fun. I feel
the
like out of
paradox
all
right
martial
there, right?
arts, yeah.
I think that's an interesting take is because the Thais are known for that just nonchalant type of relaxed
Yeah.
vibe, but they're super violent when it comes to
Exactly.
martial arts or warfare. So with the Thais, it's like one of those things that it shows. I feel like even balance, right? Of like, okay, you're gonna live in this kind of like humble, just like relaxed, like not try to stress everything out type of
Yeah.
way. But when you fight, you go to war, you fucking step
Exactly,
the gas, like
yeah.
you go at each other. And that's why you can see everything in between that, right? Where you can live and you can just kind of have the ability to express yourself in like so many ways with Muay Thai, whether you want to go to war right away or have it be a tactician or, even just some guys are just super frightful. Like I think martial arts, it exposes all that characteristic.
For sure.
Like when you see someone moving around training, you see a lot about them that you never just talk about and learn, right? You have
Yeah.
to see them move, you see the way they deal with frustration, the way they deal with like someone that they don't know or a stranger, and you learn a lot about them. But when you go into like the choice to do it forever, right? Like, or as a career, like you're now getting into, it's like, why this, right? Why this as the end all be all of your main focus right now, right? What is that? There's always a why for each fighter, right? So what is it now that's giving you the drive to do this as a living?
Ooh, for me, at first it was because I had nothing else really. I was like, might as well. I literally got nothing else. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But then as I was fighting more and more, and I feel like I have skills, I feel like I'm gifted with fighting, and I feel like it's not even with fighting. I feel like I'm good at just monkey see, monkey do. If I see someone do something, all right, I could do it. Just tell me the steps, I'll do it. Like no matter what it is. So I think MMA is the main goal now.
You pick up stuff quick. It's like
Yeah, I feel like at first there was no rhyme or reason. It was just like, yo, I have nothing else to do. Now it's like, yo, I have skills. I feel like I picked this up.
You see the potential.
Yeah, I see the potential, and I feel like, honestly, it's legacy too. Like, money's cool, but money never did it for, like, to me, I feel like if I could live my exact lifestyle right now,
Right.
for the rest of my life, I'll be completely happy and content.
Right.
All I want to do is train, hang out with my family, hang out with my friends, train, fight. Literally, that's it.
Yep.
So for me, it's more about legacy now because, again, money obviously will be great. That would be great. Like, I would love to, like, help out my entire family, help out everybody. But to me, it's more about legacy and just being known and being remembered for something. Because once we're all gone, I want to have some sort of records or stuff to be, like, known for. And I just think it's really cool to, like, have people say they know me and, like, be excited. Like, my brother to be like, yo, my brother fights. Or, like, my mom to be like, yo, my son fights. Or even, like, a homie to be like, yo, this person does this. To me, it's cool to have friends to be like just basically known, basically. To be like, yo, like, basically people are happy to be not your friend, but, like, happy to be, they're like, yo, like, I'm associated
that's
with
my
it.
guy, man. You
Yeah,
know, you go back,
exactly.
like,
To me,
how
yeah,
many
that's
guys coming out the woodwork. You know,
Yeah,
Logan,
that's what
my
I'm
boy,
saying.
man. Back in the day, that's my boy.
to
you know?
me, that's hella funny on, like, all aspects, even the people that barely know me. Like,
Yeah.
like, to me, telling people, like, oh, that's my guy, that's literally what I like I said, that's what I do it for. It's just to be remembered. I want records. I want crazy fights. I want to be.
You want a good highlight reel.
Yeah,
We got
exactly.
that.
I want a
We already
good
got-
highlight reel. I want to be just remembered, honestly.
That's my thing. Like I've always told you guys, right? Make a highlight reel because that in itself can be a legacy. Just what you put down, what you document, the stuff that you put out there for people to, whether it inspires them or motivates them or gets them excited about it. You're giving out that feeling of, all right, this guy is striving for something, right? And you want to support that, right? And that's where guys have the best intentions. They want to come and support and everything. But then there's other guys who are just trying to get clout. They want to be like,
for
oh,
sure.
yeah, it's my, we out
I'm
here,
not gonna lie though. I feel like that's like
It's good,
I'm
though.
super accepting of that. I feel like I'm accepting of
It's
that.
part of life.
And I know, like, bro, they gonna love you when you win, and ain't no one gonna know you when you lose.
Yeah.
But that's why I gotta keep winning. I'm not gonna lie. That's what motivates me to be like, all right, I gotta win because
Yeah.
if I lose, like you said, everyone goes. But I feel like
The real ones will be there.
Exactly. At the end of the day, I really don't care about that because I know my family, my friends truly know. So yeah, to me, it's just I like to make waves for me, my family, just in general, and just like everything. The gym I'm at.
Yeah.
I want everything to be big. My whole team. I want everyone to know.
Yeah, I think that's a similar sentiment too. Like for me, it's like whatever I can do on my own for my own thing, we just kind of keep it low key, right? But if it's for the glory of my family, the place, the team, and everyone, like I want to do it big for them, right? I want to make sure that they are able to associate with that and see that
For sure.
we're trying to grow, we're trying to have bigger aspirations. So those are the things that really motivate me more because again, it's like there's no real benefit of doing it for just yourself, like just because you say you want to try this stuff.
That's what I always say. I feel like at the end of the day, doing it for myself, like there's nothing. It's never for yourself because if you're just doing stuff for yourself, you do everything that's like pleasurable. You wouldn't work out. You'd eat horrible food.
Yeah.
You'd go do only stuff that pleasures you.
Yeah.
So to me, like that's one thing that I learned. I feel like when I was younger, I feel like I only lived for myself, and I feel like that's why I was messing up in school
Right.
and like going down the wrong path.
We all been there, yeah.
But once I found out, like you said, I want to do it for my family. I want my family to be proud of me and like of the stuff I've accomplished. So once I started doing that and like, okay, I want to
mindset shift.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like you said, I'm doing it for more like family and friends just to be. I just want the people around me to be proud of me.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
honestly, at the end of the day,
Because that's what's going to that's who's gonna be there, like you said. This is at the end of the day, when everything's going fucking shit, your family should be the first one to tell you, hey, you fucking this up right now.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure,
and that's
exactly.
it. With no other or better way to put it, it's like those are the ones that hold you accountable when you're not doing so well, and then the ones that are like just trying to be yes man and tell you to like you could keep doing this when you're effing up and you're not really progressing. Those are the guys you got to kind of cut ties with.
Yeah.
Because they end up like dragging you down. But you end up thinking about like all the opportunities, like all the things you got. I mean, look at where we're at now. So right now, again, we got a title fight around the corner.
Let's
You're
go.
training with some of the best guys in the world right now. You're training with the Scrap Pack, Gil. You've already had so much experience, like going to Thailand and all this stuff. So where you're at right now is a whole nother a whole nother place, than where we were when we began. So like 5 years of, maybe 6 years of work that you've pushed this point. How many times have we been through fucking fights where we just end up fucking disappointed or fucking bummed out? How many times we've been through fucking events and shit, plans that have fell through, all the stuff that we wanted to do. It always has been up and down, but now we're on this kind of cusp, right, where we're going to get to the next level and see things that are coming next. So talk about like that next step now. Like, what are we looking at moving forward into this 2025 rest and then the 2026 around the corner?
Yeah, I feel myself, like you said, I feel myself right on this like edge in between where I feel like I'm getting my stride and my experience going. So now amateurs or like these amateur fights, they're just like, I'm able to rep them out now like it's nothing. So I feel myself going pro soon, no doubt. Like especially for Muay Thai, I feel like I could go pro from Muay Thai, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But MMA has always been my goal, and there's more money in MMA, and I feel like the UFC, that's always been my goal, is just MMA. So I've been doing more Muay Thai. I want more MMA fights. Mm-hmm. So after this Muay Thai title fight, I think I'm going to do a few more MMAs, get my MMA amateur record up. Yep. Once I get that, then honestly looking to go pro. Yeah. And then
professional mixed martial arts after that.
Professional, yeah. Honestly, professional both. I feel like nowadays, especially with like one championship, I'm hoping to get, I want pro Muay Thai fights. I want pro MMA fights. Yeah. I want big jiu-jitsu super matches. I want to do, honestly, all martial arts. Like, screw it, I'll do a karate match. I'll do a boxing fight.
That's the tricky thing, because with an athlete so eager, with one that is always willing to participate and try to test themselves, right? You got to think about which is the most valuable, or which one is the ones we got to prioritize, right? Like, because every time you compete, there's always a chance for injury, for things to happen,
no doubt,
and scheduling conflicts, right? So now, yeah, that would be great if the UFC eventually has the opportunity to do jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and MMA in one promotion. ONE FC kind of has that, but you see the talent is kind of all over the place. Like, we don't have a consistent amount of talent.
The ONE FC, there's a few people that I think did it right. Like the RDR guy or whatever.
Oh, like the Ritter. Yeah, now it's the UFC though, right?
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like he played it right. He went to the one championship. I feel like that's how I see myself. If like, obviously, if I could write my career,
right,
I would want
to jump into one.
Yeah, I would want to get a few fights on the regional scene of pro.
Chatri, you hear that? Where
exactly,
we at?
for real. And then hop onto one championship.
Send this boy a contract, okay?
Especially because I love being in Thailand. Yeah, exactly. I love being in Thailand. So I'd want to be in one championship, and I'd want to do a few Muay Thai fights probably first.
Okay.
And then I'd want to do a few MMA fights and make big waves with those MMA fights. That's the plan.
Yeah, if all the stars
align. If all works out, exactly. Then the UFC, and then from there, once you're UFC, I feel like, it sounds crazy, but I probably shouldn't be saying this, but UFC ruins all the fun for all the fighters. Once you're in the UFC, you're just locked into that UFC. But like I said, that's the big stage. So at that point, I'll lock in.
And the sport's changing, every day.
Yeah, I'll lock in at that point, and I'll focus just MMA. Yeah, but to me, I want to do it all at the moment. And Muay Thai is the best, honestly. Yeah. Muay Thai in general. If there was more money in Muay Thai, more like fans and more promotions in Muay Thai, I think Muay Thai would be the biggest thing.
Yeah, like, I think what is available, right, is definitely there. I mean, like, regardless of whether you do a Muay Thai or MMA, right, there's opportunities in either field. Like, you could full send the Muay Thai thing and become a star there. But again, with the challenge of MMA, right, which is kind of the thing that I get intrigued by, is like, yeah, I know for sure you go into Muay Thai now full send, right? We've seen you already prove a lot in Muay Thai, right? MMA, there's like a lot of uncharted territory still that we want to see. So I'm like, once we get to that point of like, all right, we're at that crossroads, whether we take a pro Muay Thai or a pro MMA fight, and then depending on how far we want to go, it really will just depend on how the experiences go with these next few fights. So again,
I think the MMA is gonna pop off way better than my Muay Thai. I feel like my Muay Thai has been going good, but
your MMA career is going
to go MMA, I feel like my MMA is going to pop off, because honestly, if you watch my MMA fights, you can watch them on YouTube.
Right.
I lost them, no doubt, off MMA scoring. No doubt. There's no debate. They were on top. Like, yeah, okay, MMA scoring. But I've never felt more in control of fights. Obviously, they took me down, but once I was on my back and I had him in my rubber guard, I felt zero threat ever. I felt more threat in every one of my one of my Muay Thai fights, even jiu-jitsu matches. Like, honestly, those two fights, the third one was different. Obviously, the third one I felt fine. But those 2 fights and I feel like it was amateurs. I was too set on my ego, guys. I was too set on, I'm gonna sub these dudes. I'm gonna sub these dudes.
With not enough time. 2 minutes too short.
It's just not enough time. So yeah, that's what I mean of like, I know this MMA is gonna pop off.
Once you get your 5-minute rounds,
just because exactly. Once I get the elbow,
knee to his head,
exactly.
Once you get all the tools unleashed, it's a whole nother game plan.
I feel it. I feel way more comfortable in MMA than I've ever felt in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I just think the rule set, and it's just in general the takedown. Like if you watch back those first 2 fights, I didn't even try to defend the takedown. I just accepted the takedown because I wanted my guard.
And it's the thing is, you got to deal with the BS of the amateurs at the end of the day, right? You got to get through it. You have to. Everyone did. I mean, unless you want to skip and just go straight for it.
Yeah, it's good experience though, because honestly, it's not even about the fight. It's about everything, like you said, leading to like the pullouts,
right?
Missing this person missing weight.
Yeah. Oh, you having to cut weight last minute.
You're having to cut weight, or you're supposed to fight at 2 p.m. and it's like, oh, never mind, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Never mind, 4 p.m. All right, you're out at 7. And you're like, bro, I've been waiting. Like I had to like all of it. I think that's way more the experience I'm getting out of it.
Dealing with the fights, because like getting to the fight is the hardest thing, right? It's just like getting in there, waiting around. But you know, those are the experiences you got to realize, because it's not about like, are you just ready to throw down, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you keep yourself in that mode when the time is right, and get and flip that switch when you need to, right?
Yeah.
So it's like activating that mode and doing it where it's gonna peak, and not just where it's just gonna have enough to get the engine going. You need to be able to like go at a steady cruise throughout the whole fight. And you know, you've seen it, so many different factors can fall into play when you talk about fights. So you cannot let that get to you. You have to be able to keep yourself composed and find a way to kind of deal with all that chaos, right? So you know, you had I can't even count anymore how many fights we've been through, how many
so
times
many, and so many PKBs too.
Right.
That's what. Yeah, honestly, my experience level, I think, like, yeah, that's honestly all it is. It's just experience, because it's not even about like. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. To me, it's like you could only tell yourself so much. But if there's no proof, it's like, bro, you're just lying to yourself.
You haven't done the work. Yeah.
But to me, now I can literally just look back like, bro, remember this fight? Yeah. Remember this fight? Yeah. Remember when we showed up at this? Your mouthpiece wasn't there. You had to do it.
Yeah.
Like there's so much stuff. Yeah, that's why there's so many things that I've gone through. I feel like I've obviously I haven't seen everything, because that's the whole fight. Anything could happen. But I feel like you said, I'm so good at just being like, all right, I'm accepting.
Roll with the punches.
I know no matter what, I'm going to fight sometime today. Yeah. Just stay ready. Just wait for the call. The warm with a warm up, without a warm up, I know I'm ready. To be honest, I'm just always
ready to fight. Okay,
like no matter what,
I know
ready.
All your opponents are listening to this right now.
Exactly.
We're looking at this. He's ready to go no matter what time it is. You know, so they're probably watching, taking notes and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you coming in a better version of you every time, right? It's like, that's the thing. Sure. I know that I'm confident every time I go in. It's not the same Logan. It's not the same Sweet Tea. And, you know, it's not the same dude. It's an evolvement, and it's a continuous evolvement. So that's where it's just getting dangerous for these guys out here. So it's going to be interesting as we see the rest of your career unfold. We start to see you continue to get these big fights and these big shows. And we'll get Logan back in here to talk about some other endeavors, especially after the fight, and reflect on a lot of other stuff here. We got a lot of other things probably coming up that we'll start to build into. Maybe get in another guest here too, so we can have the official Sweet Cream podcast.
Let's go.
But that's another story. Okay, shout out to Bryson out there. Okay, I know you're listening.
Go.
So Logan, any last things before we close out?
Nah, nothing much. Yo, check out my Instagram if you don't have my Instagram. That's crazy. But check out the 10th Planet Instagram. You'll find me on there. So if it's hard to find, my name is sweet_T10PDC. This shit's kind of like hard to remember. We'll put that link in
the description.
Check it out, or go to the 10th Planet. It makes it way easier. And follow the 10th Planet stuff. You could get all the updates on there.
That's right. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.